Welcome to the Virtual Women's Forum, a groundbreaking initiative empowering women across generations. This collaboration between WSD Women and the East African community, women's intergenerational dialogue paves the way for transformative connections. Our mission is to unite senior women leaders with young visionaries for mentorship and impactful dialogue. Centered on the theme, the role of digital technologies and social media in enhancing women's leadership and empowerment, we aim to inspire change. Join us as we explore barriers and best practices in business, technology, media, politics, and academia. Together, we foster a future where women lead fearlessly, empowered by digital tools and networks. Through shared experiences and wisdom, we cultivate a space for growth and innovation. Join us in this transformative journey and let's shape the future of women's leadership together.
Hello, my name is Gina and I am from Malaysia. First of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to participate in this wonderful virtual women's forum. I am both inspired and excited. Inspired, why? Because I have been invited to share my very humble journey with you. And excited because technology has made this so easily possible across the miles that are between us. First, I'm just going to do a little bit of an introduction about myself. Today, I am a soft skills trainer and a business consultant. I work for myself. But I didn't start as a soft skills trainer. Way back when, I graduated in computer science in 1985. That was the age of mainframes and dial-up connections directly into the local network, way before the internet. I spent most of my life in the IT vendor environment. Companies that sell hardware and software solutions, most of the time together, to clients in different industries. My focus was mostly on the software part of things. I started as a software developer, but my career brought me into other parts of the business. In general, I have spent 15 years in a technical capacity, another 15 years as a local managing director in charge of a US-based software company, and now I am in my 10th year working for myself as a business consultant and soft skills trainer. Now, if I may bring you back into history about in the years I spent in my career, the environment was very different from what it is today. When I first started, the IT world was dominated by men mostly. Women's voices in this industry were not always heard, and we were not always visible. The leaders were mostly men, all the way to even to middle management, right? But as I went up the ranks, there was always the boardroom boys network, right, that we had to break into. And people talk about the glass ceiling, but I think in reality, the men are running a 100-meter dash. Women are running a 400-meter glass hurdle race. Today, I believe there's still some truth in that. Right? Not as much, but it's still there. I was lucky to have had a boss, a man, who saw my work and gave me the promotions I needed, for me to go up the ranks. And and my bosses, and they were men too, also invested in my growth and my learning. However, it was also very exciting times. This is the time where we saw a lot of innovation. The personal computer and the personal devices, the internet, social media in its infancy till now, and of course today, artificial intelligence. So very exciting. I like to now move track to basically share about the lessons that I've learned and what I can share with you. There have been so many, but I like to zoom in on three. Right? The first one is always be learning. Strive for excellence, strive to excel, and to have deep knowledge in our subject matter specialization. Invest in continual learning. And I'm not only talking about money, we're talking about your time and your effort. Plan that into your career. Right? it requires us to be curious. These are informal learning, learn about other disciplines. My job allowed me to learn about operations in other industries. No knowledge is ever wasted. There will be things that we learn, from other industries, from other people, that will help us solve problems later. And lastly, be humble. We don't always know everything. Continue to invest in learning, read up, ask for different points of view intentionally. It is always very tempting to only talk to people who agree with us, right? But sometimes we do learn from people who don't agree with us. All these things are part of what we call a growth mindset. And it was because I was open to pick up soft skills by formal and informal training that I believe I was able to move to a leadership position, as well as, when the time came, pivot to a soft skills trainer later in my life. The second lesson that I learned is network. Your network is your net worth. Now, the phrase sounds very transactional and very cold, doesn't it? So let me reframe it. Build relationships that are healthy. Don't do it because you expect favors from others, but good relationship goes a long way in life. People say you are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. Now, who are your 5 in each area of your life? Who are your role models and mentors? Sometimes, who do you read? What are where do you spend time reading? What are topics you read about? Who are authors, that you read? Another way to strengthen your network or your relationship is to show up. You cannot build healthy relationship by being absent. It's an investment, right? Again, it sounds very cold, but you're investing in the relationship. Thirdly is your character is your currency, all right? Always be intentional to have good intentions. Be helpful, have integrity, and be authentic. I always ask myself, do people smile when they say my name? Do people trust me? So those are the things that that guide me. Third lesson I would say is balance. Balance. Everyone looks successful on social media, but we don't always have a 360 view of their lives. We all have different lives, and balance will mean different things to each of us. Have goals, but make sure your goals are realistic ones in each of your life. In each area of your life, right? Whether it be your intellectual development, your personal development, or your personal life, right? Balance in terms of your resource. I come back to time, effort, and money as well. Manage all 3. Pace yourself. In other words, smell the roses while you climb up that mountain. All right? Then you will enjoy the journey. So I hope my humble sharing has brought some value. I am still learning and still want to improve on all these 3. But the last thing I'd like to share is keep the faith. Keep the faith. We all have our own religious and spiritual beliefs, but I think the guiding principle is to know that the Almighty is watching over us. So thank you very much for wanting to listen to my humble story, and I really hope it is helpful to you. Thank you.